a third straight night of American strikes on Iran, and today, a full U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports begins. Here is footage from the scene.
This is the TheJagoTimes Daily Brief for Tuesday, July the 14th. Today, the U.S. blockades Iran's coastline after a tanker attack kills an Indian sailor. In Delhi, appeals grow for Sonam Wangchuk to end a hunger strike now in its third week. And in Maine, a senator says the man killed in an immigration operation was not the man agents were looking for.
U.S. Central Command says its forces struck military targets across Iran for a third consecutive night Monday, a 5-hour mission hitting 6 coastal areas from Bushehr in the west to Bandar Abbas and Jask on the strait, targeting coastal defenses, missile and drone sites, and maritime capabilities. That is CENTCOM's account. There is no independent assessment of the damage inside Iran. Iran's answer came at sea. The United Arab Emirates says 2 of its tankers, the Mombasa and the Al Bahia, were hit by Iranian cruise missiles Tuesday morning in the strait's southern lane inside Omani waters. 1 crew member, an Indian national, was killed, and 8 others were injured, according to the UAE Defense Ministry. India summoned Iran's deputy envoy in Delhi. The foreign ministry condemned what it called violence against civilian seafarers and demanded protection for freedom of navigation. And from 4 p.m. Eastern today, Washington escalates again, a naval blockade of Iran's entire coastline, every port and oil terminal enforced against ships of any flag, the Pentagon says. Ships passing through Hormuz to other countries won't be stopped, and humanitarian cargo can still reach Iran after inspection. Traffic is already collapsing. Analytics firm Kepler counted crossings down about 52% in a week. Diplomacy is strained, but not over. Pakistan's Foreign Office again urged immediate de-escalation as Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif flew to Qatar for talks with the Emir. Why it matters. A fifth of the world's oil moves through this strait, and a blockade puts American ships and Iranian missiles in the same water every day.
To India, where concern is growing over the health of Sonam Wangchuk. The engineer-turned-activist, widely known for his education and climate work in Ladakh, is now in the third week of an indefinite hunger strike at Delhi's Jantar Mantar. He has lost more than 8 kilograms, and his blood sugar has fallen sharply, according to updates reported by The Print. His fast presses 2 causes: accountability over examination paper leaks that have sparked student protests in India, and his long-standing demand for statehood and constitutional protections for The appeals to stop are getting louder. Writers, actors, and economists, including Arundhati Roy and Nasiruddin Shah, have publicly urged him to end the fast while backing the protesters' demands, the Federal reported. So far, there is no resolution, and Wangchuk says he will not stop until the government acts. We'll keep following his condition.
In the United States, new questions over a deadly immigration operation in Maine. A 26-year-old Colombian man, Joan Sebastian Guerrero, was fatally shot by an immigration officer Monday morning in the town of Bidder. The Department of Homeland Security says agents were watching the last known address of another man, someone with a final removal order, when Guerrero, quote, attempted to flee, and an officer, quote, fearing for public safety, fired his weapon. The department says Guerrero was in the country illegally. But Maine Senator Angus King, an independent, says Homeland Security's own secretary told him the man killed was not the person agents were seeking. The agents were not wearing body cameras, CBS News reports. CBC Iranian since they hit the Secretariat of hit the person she was psyching. US Maine people also striking to 2 days, says Aegis on Sojans Ministry says. So there is no video of what happened. The department's inspector general is now investigating. Both accounts are on the record. The facts are still being established.
That's the day. A blockade begins in the Gulf, a hunger strike tests Delhi, and a shooting in Maine under investigation. You're watching The JagoTimes. Stay tuned for more. And subscribe for tomorrow's brief.